Hi, nobodies. So, I am not sure what I'm going to talk about tonight, but that's nothing new. Oh, and for the record, anytime you hear music in the background, I don't own the rights to the music. I mean, I own the song as far as like I bought it, but I don't own the rights to play it for you. Okay, I don't know why I did that. So, I've had a fun day today. Started off with, now see, yesterday I helped wash the dog because I was like, man, I'm sick of the dog not getting a bath. I mean, he's like 2 years old and he's never had a bath. So, I mean, I was finally to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm not having this anymore. I feel bad about this. I feel bad that y'all don't take the dog out for walks, that y'all don't do that. It is not my dog. Okay. Now I have taken it for walks. What little walks I could do, but I can't take it for a walk now because lately, I'll get dizzy all of a sudden. I think it's a iron thing. That's a whole different deal, and I've done a video about it. Um, so I can't really do it. And I mean, and this is a massive freaking dog. Well, yesterday I was like, I'm gonna give the dog a bath, because they kept saying, well, like the first thing was my daughter saying, he's just gonna get dirty again. Because I guess she thought I wanted her to give him a bath. I wanted her to go get soap for his bath. So then my husband's like, well, I'll wash him tomorrow. And I was like, to you, a day may not be anything. But I'm sitting there thinking, we ain't ever given him a bath. Never. So I don't want him to go one more fucking day without a bath. So I was like, I'm giving the dog a bath. My husband just kind of like, what? You are going to give the dog a bath? Because, like, I don't touch the dog. I've got, like, this psychosomatic thing from being attacked that I smell that smell and I'm just, like, disgusted. And if they rub up against me, I feel filthy. Or if they lick me, I'm, I'm trying to break it. So it ended up, I just held the hose. The dog, of course, he's rowdy as hell. And, he weighs at least 100 pounds. And, now he stopped moving when my husband started lathering him up because he was like, I don't know what you're doing, but I like it. He was cool after that. Because I said, hey, we're failing this dog. This isn't just, something you just throw outside and here's food, here's water. It's kind of sad. And it's really been starting to bug me because it's not my dog. I take care of the cats. I feed the cats. I water the cats. I clean the 5 litter boxes I've got. Okay. All that said, I had told Taryn, I was like, hey, we gave your dog a bath, clean the litter boxes. Well, she hadn't done it this morning. And I was like, well, I've got to pick a room a day. Because, like, pretty much all summer, I took a break. Now, June 8th, when my daughter got married, I cleaned up, like really cleaned. But those of you not watching, if you've got kids, you know how fruitless it can feel to clean. Because it's like, oh God. And nothing makes me hate my family more than realizing they're a bunch of lazy slobs. When I'm cleaning up something and none of it is my mess. Now, I mean, my husband's not as bad. But the kids, they'll just like throw stuff in the laundry room. And it's like, okay, you just threw that in the laundry room. Butters pees on things. It's his deal. Like he's saying, this doesn't belong on the floor. I'm going to piss on it. And then he pisses on it. Again and again and again. I'm just glad he doesn't decide to poop on it. Thankfully, poop is not his thing. But when there's plastic bag on the floor, he says, this does not belong here. And when he's done playing with it, he pees on it. So, but, so I was like, well, I've got to clean the laundry room. That was fun. But luckily, I picked that early this morning, and one of my friends is like, well, why don't you just have them clean it? And I said, because they won't do it right. And I think a lot of people understand that too, saying that, well, I could have people do. Now, by all means, if they went in there and just did it, I would not nitpick about, well, you didn't do this right, you didn't do that right. No. I would be happy that they made an effort and did something for me. But if I said clean it, I would look at it and say they didn't do it right. This doesn't go here, this doesn't go here, this doesn't go here. I mean, I'm not like a neat freak, but there's a certain way I want things. And that's how it is. Like, they don't load the dishwasher right either. The same goes with like when I used to hand wash dishes. There was an order. It's not really OCD because like I don't get like, oh no, I there's a cup and I've already washed the cups. I've gone on to the bowls. I can't wash this cup right now. I don't like flip out over it, but I may not wash it. I may say I'll get that next time. But, I mean, there's like a certain order to what I do. And like I said, I'm not a neat freak. Like, let me show you. Underneath my nightstand, this is where things end up because this is where I'm at most of the day. So when I'm done with it, I may not choose to get up and put it back where I got it from. So it goes right beside me. Deal with it later. So when I'm looking for something, I know what's in there. So I pull things out. And, I make messes, but I clean up my messes. I don't expect anybody to clean up after me. Some of them, though, I mean, like little Gavin, just like when I clean the living room, I found all of the packages he got his school supplies. He needed glue sticks. All the glue stick packages, he just threw them on the floor. And that kind of laziness just makes me, like, the whole time I'll be doing something, I'm just like, it's fucking ridiculous. So today it was like, okay, in the laundry room, this is what they do. They'll say, I need to do my laundry. It's a big fucking emergency because they wait till the last fucking minute to do it. And they'll say, I need to do my laundry. So they'll throw it in the washing machine. And when theirs is done, they don't care if the shit that's in the dryer is completely dry. They'll throw it in a basket and set it somewhere. Instead of like saying, well, this isn't dry yet. I better set this like on top of the washer so that when I'm done drying my clothes, I'll throw these back in there. No, they don't do that. They set it in a basket. Eventually somebody comes and moves the basket and sets it next to a basket of dirty linens. And see, they don't always remember that they've got stuff in the dryer. Normally what ends up doing that is like sheets and stuff. The linens end up like that, and they'll be all like balled up, and anything that happened to be washed with them is inside of there, and it's smelling like mold by the time I find it. Another thing that they'll do is they'll do that, like even if if the stuff is dry, they'll set it down, and then somebody else will come along and set a basket next to it of dirty stuff. So when I go in there, I have no idea what's dirty and clean. So they're like costing me money too. And then of course you got the litter boxes are in there, and the cats just dragging litter. And then there's the lint that they just toss it on the floor because the trash can got full because people don't know how to break down a detergent box. It's like, really? Or you couldn't have just walked out of the laundry room, walked into the guest bathroom and thrown the lint in there? That's if they remember to hit the lint trap. I hit that lint trap every freaking load. It's part of the ritual. It's kind of like how, you always remember to flush the toilet. My son can't seem to remember to flush the fucking toilet. love them to death, proud of the people that they are, but they're messy. My son will pour himself a big old glass of milk, and then he'll sit the cup of milk somewhere that's not necessarily like out in the open. And then I'll smell something, and there's like sour cream in the cup. I hate that. And he has to use a cup every time he gets a drink, a different cup, because he can't ever remember where he put the other one. Or even if like he's sitting there and he's got his old cup, like he seems to think that if he walks away from his glass, the Kool-Aid has gone bad. It's old. He can't drink it. I shouldn't complain though, because I mean, like my daughter, my middle kid, oh my God, she ruined so many dishes with experiments from YouTube or just things that popped into her head. I should be happy though, because they don't have the thoughts that I have. Like I ran into the kitchen and now, see, my thought process is really weird, and I probably should not share this, but I will anyway, because, like, nobody watches these, and even if they did, this is who I am. What can I say? So, I was thinking about, what was I thinking about? What the fuck was it? Because, see, I know, like, the next thought was, my mom told my friends that she let the cat lick her one time. Oh yeah, I was thinking about those people who think that masturbation is like completely wrong. You know, and I was like, so what could you do that they wouldn't call self-rape? You know, and then I thought of my mom telling that story to my friends. You know, I'm fucked up. I'll tell you what, that night when my friend, you know, it was a sleepover, and when my friends heard her getting a bath and talking to the cat and knowing that the cat was in there after she had told them that she let a cat lick her once, so embarrassed. So embarrassed. Like traumatized, embarrassed. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. So then you get to thinking about, I can't remember what movie it was, but somebody's saying, what are you doing with my dog and that peanut butter? So I was like, okay, so maybe these people do stuff like that. And then I was like, is that animal abuse? So I like felt like I had to go share that with my husband to say, hon, is it animal abuse? Because actually, you know, you're feeding the dog, but you're not, you know, I mean, I don't think it's a gray area. It's wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's wrong to do that. But I know that there are people who do that. Do you call that animal abuse? And if so, are you supposed to stop your dog from raping your leg when they hump your leg? I mean, yeah, you're supposed to stop them. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit there and go, hurry up and finish up, buddy. Come on, do your thing. No, it's awkward. But, you know, do you say, my dog's a rapist? My brain is not right. Like, I've got squirrel brain, and then I've got gutter brain, and then I got, like, the whole Beavis and Butthead thing going, the whole Beavis and Butthead show going on in there. So, like, I'll have these crazy thoughts, and my husband will think, like, something brought that up, and it's like, no, I had a thought, and it led to another thought, and another thought, and another thought. You know, like, he doesn't see the process to get from there. And see, I'll have this process when somebody's talking to me where it'll, like, I'll hear them, and at the same time, like, one word will trigger something, and I'm like, ooh, and then that'll trigger something else. So then they're like, you are, like, so totally off topic right now. And it's not, because even while I'm talking, my brain is having thoughts that are in there. Like, I can hear them right now. Not like another, I don't hear voices. My inner self talks. So my brain's just like really weird. I can have a conversation and also think about other stuff. I can read a book and think about other stuff. You know, but I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Yes, I can. I just might trip. I am such a klutz. So yeah, I had that thought. Not for myself, because I would never do that. But I know that there are people who do things like that. Don't they, Lexi? This is my neck warmer. And of course, the fabulous Butters is nearby. He's almost always nearby. But Lexi here loves me. But she's volatile. Sometimes she'll attack for no reason. She does things. When I sneeze, she chitters at me like she sees a bird. Stop hitting me in the face with your tail. She loves me. I'm her person. And I wish I wasn't allergic to her. Because she really needs a lot of love. But I make sure my cats get what they need. See, I'm going back to the original topic. I make sure my cats get what they need. And just because that dog, I don't claim him as mine, doesn't mean that I can't push them. Because see, I get shit done, okay? I will logic them to death. My family knows that, like, whatever excuse they give me, I'll give them something back. You know, because like with Tyrion, when she was like, he's just going to get dirty again. He's going to keep getting dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. And I'm like, okay, why don't you stop taking a bath? Give yourself a week. Go a week without taking a bath. I don't care if you don't do a damn thing but sit on your bed and watch TV. You go a week without taking a bath, most people are going to feel pretty damn dirty. They're not even going to make it to a week. You know, you might, like, I don't even think I could make it 24 hours without getting a bath. I have to get a bath. That's part of making me feel good, is getting a bath or a shower. I might take 2 in one day, depending on what I'm doing. I do not like to be dirty. You know, and I was like, well, you know, go a week. And then why bathe it a week? Because you're just going to get dirtier. There's a reason. Because you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that person that offends me. Because see, not much offends me. But let me tell you, somebody who ain't bathed and needs to bathe, that offends me. People who don't wear deodorant, that offends me. Because I smell them. And that offends me. You know, because even homeless people can be clean. I've met clean homeless people who don't smell like they sleep with dogs, who don't reek of BO. You know, there's ways to be clean. So if you've got a home and you've got money to buy things, soap, please. Soap and deodorant, those things are cheap. Hell, if you go to your church, a lot of churches will carry those kinds of things for people. You know? I mean, I cannot tolerate BO and stuff and just filth. I can't stand it. You know, you can smell like cigarettes and I'm like, well, you know, they've smoked today. You know, I don't like the smell, but as long as it's not overpowering. But you take that, like if they ain't bathed in a day or two, and you take that they've been smoking on top of that, that's pretty foul. It is. And I mean, when I'm having to grab mentholatum and put it under my nose because somebody smells that bad, that's offensive. That's offensive. That's more offensive than anything you can say to me. You could grab my tits and go honk, honk, and I would be less offended. Trump could grab my crotch, and I would be less offended than by the way some people smell, because they ain't bathed. It's not expensive. And if homeless people can manage to not stink, then you can manage to not stink. It's that fucking simple. You know, I mean, we had a guy at Walgreens that would come through. I called him Mr. Stench. Now, the deal was he was in a wheelchair and his wife was not taking good care of him. She would not bathe him. I kid you not. He would come in the store, and an hour later, you could still know exactly where he had been in the store. That's how bad it was. We hated seeing Mr. Stench. And oh my God, he bought a blender or something and brought it back the next day. It had been in his house one day. That shit, that blender and the box smelled like Mr. Stench. It was horrible. I didn't realize it was his wife that was doing that. His wife died. His daughter started taking care of him. And he didn't stink anymore. It was his wife wasn't taking care of him. And I felt bad. I felt bad, that I'd been calling him Mr. Stench, and hating to see him. I mean, he wasn't a very pleasant fellow, mind you, but still, I felt bad that I just thought he was a nasty motherfucker. And it was that he couldn't do it himself, apparently, and she wasn't helping him. But most people don't have that excuse. Most people just, I don't know. I don't know how anybody can live like that. Even people who, I know that there are people who have mental problems and they just really hate getting a bath. Please don't go out in public if that's you. Save up. If you can't take a bath every day, go out on the day that you took your bath, please. because trust me, the rest of us are just gonna look at you and judge you as a nasty motherfucker. Period. We're gonna be offended, and we're not going to stop and think, well, maybe she's got mental problems, and maybe she's got a phobia thing going on, or OCD or something that makes it very difficult. No, we don't think about that. Nobody really thinks about that unless that's their issue too. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's just the way it is. If you don't want them looking at you, take a bath. Save up all your trips for one day. Take a bath that day. Anyway, pointless video, but I'm a pointless person. So have a good night.